On the first day of NFL free agency, a handful of players leave the Seahawks, but a couple major players re sign with the team. And welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Sports Show where we love Seattle Pro Sports. I'm your host, Mikey, and today we are here to talk about some big news. It's the first day of NFL free agency, and things were going down for the Seahawks all day once they got started. It took them a few hours to get things started, but once they got started, they made some big moves. Okay. Quickly, we'll mention the players who decided to exit the team and sign elsewhere. Damian Lewis signed with the Carolina Panthers, 4 years, $53 million. So pretty decent money for him. That may be something that you would have been willing to do for an experienced offensive lineman who did decent for you, but seems like they were just ready to move on. Will Disley signed a 3-year deal with the San Diego or the LA Chargers, sorry, for 3 years, $14 million. Now that's one that's really in that range where you say, oh, for the experience he has and what he's been on the team, that might have been real nice to have him at that price again, almost half of what you were paying him. Now that you cut him, you still would have been saving against the cap after the deal. So I could see that one, but again, if the new coaches are ready to move on, then there you go. That's the way it goes. Colby Parkinson. Now this one surprised me. He signed with the LA Rams for 3 years, $22.5 million. I saw projected salary for Colby Parkinson, and I was kind of surprised at how high it was for somebody who has been good for the Seahawks, and I guess that's what you're paying for. You're paying for the potential because he really hasn't done a lot. Not anything of his own fault. He was here when he was here when we had the coordinators that we had. And it seems like he has potential, but for the price that he ended up with, it was even higher than what I saw projections. So, it would have been nice to see what he could do in a new system with a new coordinator, but not at that price. So, it's okay to see him walk out that one. Now, here's a pretty surprising one. Jordan Brooks signed with the Miami Dolphins for 3 years, $30 million. Now, if you're saying that must tell me that they really were ready to move on from Jordan Brooks and that he is not what Mike McDonald is looking for in his new system. Well, he should be. The Ravens famously wanted to have Jordan Brooks in the draft, and they ended up with Patrick Queen, who didn't really look as good as Jordan Brooks until Mike McDonald got there. So you would think that, oh well, maybe now that Mike McDonald can get his hands on Jordan Brooks, they're going to keep him. He'll stick around, and maybe we'll see him finally not just do good, but totally flourish in a system. But it's not to be. He's leaving, and I don't know if at this point we were running on a team with no linebackers. So with him leaving, does that actually increase the odds of Bobby Wagner coming back here? We just talked yesterday about how he's going to test free agency, and reports are saying that it was unlikely he's going to come back. But does he come back now? He's going to be cheaper than Brooks. He's older. Yeah, he's had a ton of protection, but he is older, so he's not going to get a big deal or a huge deal, anyways. And we still don't, we don't hardly have any linebackers on the roster right now. And yeah, like I said, Jordan Brooks, that was a price that you would have totally been okay with signing him at. So kind of surprised to see him go there, but I don't know if that's the move. That tells me either they have somebody in mind that they are targeting big money again. Patrick Queen. Does Michael, does Mike McDonald want to bring him over, and does he want to come over? And they're saving like big money for him, or do they have linebackers in mind that they want to target in the draft? You see that I have been targeting them a lot in the mock drafts I've been doing, so that'll be interesting to see. All right, well, that's the players that left. Let's talk about the players who are staying, who they had new deals with. First, we will mention Noah Fant, 2 years, $21 million. It's got $9 million signing bonus in there, 12 million total in 2024, and 9 million in 2025. So again, at that price for what Noah Fant can be, I really like that deal because I think he has a lot of skill for the position that you want at the position in the NFL in 2024. He's coming off of a year with the Seahawks, where he had 32 receptions, 414 yards, and 0 touchdowns. Now, let me tell you, those are all career lows for Noah Fant. So that makes you kind of scratch. That might make you scratch your head and say, "Hey, why are you signing him to a deal now and extending him now?" Again, I think because of the potential that he has, the skill set that he has, and what he has shown in previous years. This is the first year he's never scored a touchdown. What he has shown in previous years, and still being young, you think he's got a lot of potential. You think he's going to fit in Grubb's system, and that alone should make you feel good about it because it doesn't have to be under the offensive coordinator that he was under this past season. We all know how I felt about the coordinator from last season. We've seen how JSN feels about it, which only confirms my thoughts that yes, that was not what was going on there. Was not good. But I imagine Noah Fant will have a much better season than what this season was under a new system and under a coordinator who will utilize him like he should be utilized. All right, so there's Noah Fant. Let's talk about Leonard Williams. Now, Leonard Williams also re-signed with your Seahawks. Leonard Williams, his deal, 3 years, $64.5 million with $43.85 million guaranteed. It's I guess basically only like a $500,000 a year raise over the deal that he just finished. So you got him at a great deal, and now I've seen people comparing his deal to other defensive linemen, and remember, this is one of the top defensive linemen in free agency and just in the NFL in general. So, when we talk about some of the other guys here, like Christian Wilkins, and the deal he got, some people are going to say, well, you could have got somebody like a Christian Wilkins and he's younger, and it's only $6 million a year more. Well, that is $6 million a year more, and he's only 1 year younger than Leonard Williams. So, uh, and again, Leonard Williams has proven to be one of the top at the league in at his position. For what, however many years he's been in the league now, like 8 or 9 years. He's proven to be one of the top. I mean, just in 10 games with the Seahawks alone, uh, he had 41 tackles, 4 sacks. Um, so we saw the how he can produce on defense just in the 10 games that we had with him. Now, um, did it turn our team around when we got him? No, but in general, I think the last couple of years our defense has been horrible. So to see how good he was on the defense right away, that should tell you the level of player he is and why you would want to keep him around, and how that is going to just help the rest of the defensive linemen on the team for an entire season. It's going to help the linebackers. It's going to help the entire defense, because uh, you gotta have guys in the trenches who can get the job done, who can do their job, so that everybody else uh, has an easier time doing their job. It's all about the linemen. It's all about those big men up front, offense and defense. You need Leonard Williams to come in and do what he did last year. And again, everybody's talking like he's like so old. He's 29. This is a 3-year deal. By the time this ends, he's just going to be 32. And when we're talking about uh, defensive linemen like this, this is not a running back. This is not where there's like this magical cliff where you say, oh well, 29, he's about to be 30, it's time to jump off. No, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, you see them play well into their mid 30s and still be very productive. So I think we're still getting him during some prime years here, and he's going to be good for the Seahawks for years to come. And there you go. That was your signings for today, the first day of free agency. Again, it took a few hours for everything to get started, but once they got started, you were very happy with the moves they made. It's as a fan, you get kind of bummed to see the players leave that you're a fan of. Like I'm a big Will Disley fan. I'm a big Parkinson fan. I had a lot of thoughts that Jordan Brooks could be very promising if he could stay healthy. Damian Lewis, you appreciate the effort that he put in when he was here. So bummer to see them go, but I understand letting all those guys walk. So that was the first day of NFL free agency. Let me know what you think. What would you grade the free agency period for the Seahawks so far? Again, you're not grading me. You're grading what are the Seahawks, like what have they actually done? A, B, C, D, F. For me, I am actually going to give them an A so far. I wanted Leonard Williams back. We got him. I didn't know what tight end we were going to be bringing back. We're getting Noah Fant. And again, because of who their coordinator is, that excites me to actually have him on the team now, and to know that he will probably actually be utilized correctly now. So I think that's actually a very good signing. And the players you let walk, I'm okay with letting every single one of them walk. Everyone that walked, I did not feel like, oh, you had to have that guy. There's been a lot of talk about how Jordan Brooks was a must-have guy. You gotta have him. Again, through the 4 years that we had him, just a lot of concerns came up with injuries and just not, you know, it looked like maybe he was going to take a step forward this year and finally become the player you wanted him to become, and that maybe that would be a signal like going to the future he would be that, but no guarantee. And just with the injury, I mean, the injury history alone for the in the time he was here, that was the whole reason why they didn't pick up the 5th-year option with him, right? So, you know, you got to think that the Seahawks organization and the medical staff, they are going to know all that stuff better than anybody. So if they are willing to let him walk, then I trust that decision. So yeah, overall, very good so far. Still, because we never got an official number of what it was exactly from Seahawks. I mean, from the Seahawks restructuring and re-signing Tyler Lockett's deal. So, we don't know the exact number of how much cap space we have left for this season, but kind of just based off of, we're saying that Noah Fant is getting, again, we still don't know the exact structure, so we don't know exactly how much is going to be against the cap, but we'll just put the full thing. We'll say 12 million this year for Noah Fant, and then again, we didn't get all the details of the Williams deal either. We just know that it's about 21 million per year when you average it out. So we can say that we've spent about 33 million in cap space so far for this year. And again, we had somewhere between 55 and 60 million left, so we spent about half of that today. So we still have plenty of cap space to go out there and make either one more big splash signing like somebody like a Patrick Queen, or you go out and get a couple other mid-level guys. And then remember, we have to have cap for all of our signings for the players we draft as well, which it doesn't take that much, probably around 10 million in total for the draft picks that we're going to have, maybe even a little bit less. But yeah, so we still got plenty of cap space left to spend. So keep that in mind as well when you're giving those grades. Let me know again, what would you grade their off season so far? All right. And then while you're at it, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, leave any other comments you want to leave. If you're listening on the podcast version, please, hit that follow button, the subscribe button, hit a 5-star rating, leave a written review. That all helps the show out. And yeah. That's the end of this episode. So thanks for listening to the Seattle Sports Show, where we watch legends awaken. So take cover, because with the sea of sound, you will see us rise to reign supreme and win forever.